Chet.
And this is Kit.
And welcome back to the Josh vs. podcast, where we talk about topics that plague me at night. Today's topic, furries. Now, Chet and I, we're not furries. However, we brought a special guest with us who is, I would like to say, a professional. Can I say that?
Yeah, I guess you could.
Professional furry.
Yeah,
I
so
suppose so.
now I'm going to come into this with an open mind because I've had friends who are furries, and whenever they said that, I was like, oh, that's cool. For some reason, they cut off all ties with me.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't
That's
know.
weird.
Yeah, I don't. I'd like to assume that's not part of it, but whenever I think of furries, I'm like, oh no, I lost friends to that. So I think of it as like some cult almost, but I know it's not.
Cult?
Parts of it can be seen that way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I get where people get that idea.
I guess that could make sense in any group of people. There's always the normies, and then there's the extreme. Everyone always got an extreme.
Yeah.
There's like the kind of furries that just like to dress up. It's very, very tame, very, very wholesome. And then there's the ones who...
The ones.
The ones, yeah.
So many abs.
I don't think we have to go too deep into those ones.
No, I think we just know. Because whenever I think of it, there's always like two. There's those ones who are like, yeah, this is just a cool persona, and then the other one's just straight up,
We
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, just to get into it, what is a furry? What makes a furry?
What would you define as a furry?
I would define a furry as the actual textbook definition of it, which is a fan of anthropomorphic animals, which literally
Really?
just means that you just like media that has talking and walking animals.
Okay.
So things like most Disney animated cartoons, such as like Robin Hood and the Aristocrats or Cats or whatever.
All right.
Things like that would fall under the anthropomorphic animals category.
Okay.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
I was gonna define a furry as just an anthropomorphic animal.
I mean, yeah.
Because
that is
that's
part of it.
basically what it is, but people that define themselves as a furry are fans of that thing.
Yeah.
So I
Yep.
guess it's like an interchangeable word.
Yeah, somewhat.
And what I would have defined a furry as someone who thinks that they're an animal.
That is something
Someone
else
who
called
thinks they're an
otherkin or
animal.
Therian. They overlap a tiny little bit, but not much. Most furries do not believe that they're their persona.
Okay, so those would not be called furries, or would they be like a subcategory? Or like a sub?
It depends on the person. Like, I knew some people that would classify themselves as otherkin or Therian. It's otherkin and Therian are pretty much interchangeable. It's just if you believe you're... I always get these confused. If you think you're a real-life animal, I think that's Therian. And if you're otherkin, you believe you were like a dragon or a unicorn in a past life.
Whoa.
Okay.
So, I do know some people that were furries and they were otherkin, and I know some people that weren't furries and they were still otherkin. So it's a little tiny overlapping.
So it's kind of like just an otherkin or what was it, Therian?
Therian.
So it's an otherkin or a Therian that also likes furry stuff.
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't make, or does that? Does that make them a furry? Or
Whoa.
It depends on
I'm
whether
not
they
sure.
want to classify themselves as a furry.
All right, so you're telling me that there's people out there who will make personas and all that, but not call themselves a furry?
I have many friends that are like that.
Okay.
It's pretty funny, to me at least, because I don't think there's anything wrong with being a furry. It's just the stigma around it, but a lot of people are really ashamed to be associated with that label, so they will literally make themselves a persona, and then they'll create artwork, or I know somebody that even has a fursuit and goes to conventions, but doesn't call themselves a furry because they're afraid of what people may say.
if it
I can
walk
get
like
that.
duck and talk like duck, it is duck.
Yeah.
Now, as an outsider and going to like YouTube or like Instagram and seeing people in fursuits and all this, I think it's like super weird and unusual, especially like how they'll talk to each other like, oh, ooh, ooh, and super role play, like in Nelson's ear. Yeah. Here's my question. How do furries greet each other? Is it exactly like that?
No,
or is that like
that's actually
highly
Greet each other?
That's a fandom joke.
Greetings,
actually, that it's like,
fellow furry.
it's a joke pretty
And you
much by
sniff
this
each other's
point.
butts.
because a non-furry actually came up with the whole ooh woo oh whoa thing.
snap.
So
what even
it's
is that?
seen as a joke. It's just like emoticons people made. There was like this whole copy pasta where it's like, I don't even know if I can say
Where
this.
it's like the little faces
Oh
kind of
yeah, like oh whoa, what's this? Notices your
bulge there.
demonetization.
No, it's fine.
But
Ooh,
no,
notices
usually
your
it's
bulge
just
there.
like,
Josh Fu, 2019.
Don't say my full name after I say bulge. Ooh. Josh, 2019. Wow.
But usually, if we're at a convention, it's just like any other people talking.
Or you come up to someone and say, "Hey, I really like your artwork," or
Or
"Hey,
it's
that's a
like,
cool
hey, I
fursuit."
recognize you from Instagram. Or,
Okay.
hey, can I get a picture with you if they're in fursuits?
Has that ever happened?
Cool.
Well, have you worn a fursuit?
Yes, I went to Anthrocon last year, which is in Pittsburgh, and I got a lot of people that wanted to take a picture of me. They recognized my suit online because I got it from a beginner fursuit maker. This was the first suit they had ever made, and they did a really good job on it, and a lot of people were watching the process of it being made. So when people saw me, they recognized, that's the one girl that made that, and then this is my character. So
Chet, would you wear a fursuit?
Maybe?
I'm just gonna warn you, it gets really hot and sweaty.
So
You need
I've
to be
heard.
in good shape. You need to.
I'm not in good shape.
Wait,
I'm not either, but I can still do it.
I've technically have worn a fursuit. It depends on what you define as the fursuit, because there's like those mascot sort of things.
Would
where
that
like
count?
they're at a football game and they're like
It's
like a
debatable.
raccoon or something.
It's debatable. I'd say
But
yes.
that's more like a really big onesie with a hat.
Yeah.
The fursuit is like full body padding and everything, right?
It's mostly just the legs that are padded to create the digigrade look.
Digigrade. What's that?
Which
It's
like when the leg goes out.
Yeah.
It's like
you
look at
yeah,
a cat and you look
yeah,
at their
with,
back
like
leg.
the hind legs. You mean?
Yep.
Yeah. Ooh, that's another thing with anthropomorphic animals in particular that bugs me. So there's like a kind of a spectrum of how those characters are designed. Like there's just straight up animal. There's animal that stands up. Animal with kind of human eyes, and then it's like just a human with an animal head.
Oh, we're talking
You know
about,
what I mean? And then it goes to like a human but with an animal tail.
I know this, but backwards, where they're like not a furry, and then it goes like deeper, higher levels of furry. Like you get to Japanese cat girl, and then all of a sudden it's like your normal persona, and then all of a sudden it's just a straight up lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would in the furry community, do you guys have like that kind of level?
I mean, there's two different types, I guess. Well, first off, there's like I don't actually have a term for them besides like nekos. That's like your human version of your persona, but it just has like the ears and stuff. It's like anime cat girl.
Yeah.
I think they're also called ginkas.
Okay.
Ginkas.
They're just like
That
people
sounds
dressed
like a
as
strange
your.
slur.
Yeah, it's a weird term. I don't actually know
Where
if
does
I'm
that
pronouncing it correctly, but there's also the anthros, where it's like walking, talking, and stuff. Your stereotypical furry, what you see in a fursuit.
Yeah.
And then there's the ferals, which that's just if you draw an animal on 4 legs and stuff. It gets a weird like sort of line there because it's kind of if your feral can talk. It kind of blurs the line between what's anthro, because anthro is just, it's not generally standing on 2 legs, it's displaying human qualities.
It's human and, okay.
So there's a weird line there, but...
There's a big difference between an animal with human qualities and a human with animal qualities.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting that. So anthro is like your typical like humanoid animal, and
That's
then
if you see
feral.
somebody in a fursuit, that is anthro.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
Except
feral.
there are quad suits, which are interesting.
So people like walk on all 4 for them?
Yep, you get stilts and
I think I remember
it's very
seeing
Stilts?
Yeah, you
That
get
sounds
like hand
awesome.
stilts.
I've done
They're
that.
pretty expensive, but
You
they're
have.
really nice.
Yeah, there was actually I think 2 Halloweens in a row. I made this stilt creature. I mean, I'll send you pictures if you want to post it up on the podcast.
I saw a few.
Okay. If I could find them, first of all, I shouldn't promise that. But it was. I remember that it was crazy. And then I did a few things where I'm just standing up on stilts. Ooh. So if you need someone for your kid's birthday party who can walk on stilts, I'm your guy.
He'll be right there at your door saying, "Hello, children."
I may need somebody to teach me because I was thinking about getting a suit of one of my characters, and she's 12 feet tall. So
Whoa.
Yeah.
A 12 feet tall persona?
yeah,
That's dope.
she's part xenomorph queen.
What are the rules
Wow.
for Persona? 'Cause that
Whoa,
sounds-
hold on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What rules?
So here's the
There
thing. So
is
we have
no
animals?
rules.
No rules?
Except it's just generally recommended that you don't make it like too crazy and stuff. Like you don't want to make it like neon colors, but nobody can tell you what you can and cannot do. Just be aware there's these things called closed species, which people make a fictional species and monetize it.
Oh,
And usually
okay.
that's its own little sub community in the furry fandom. So if you make one of those, there's legal grounds that they can ask you to stop that. So you just want to make sure what you're creating, if it's something quote unquote original, doesn't really apply to any of those.
That's actually really cool. I didn't know about that.
So it's like it's just like a regular copyright thing. Like
Yep.
someone makes a character, they don't want anyone using that character, but this is a little more broad because they designed a specific type of creature.
So I can make a 3-headed frog humanoid, and that can count as a furry.
I guess so.
Okay.
I've never
Isn't there
seen
like
anybody do anything like that.
Isn't
I
there
gotta
a-
monetize that.
Yeah, send a letter to
It's called
LA
a
or
tridus.
or whatever.
It's a tri-headed toad.
Yeah, I mean, there's little communities all over the place that have these fictional creatures that you need to buy to get. And I mean, a lot of people have an issue with it. I personally don't, because I see it like, you know how here you have to have a permit to get a frog and stuff? It's
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
Really?
So
we
you
have,
need to buy a make your own slot or
Yeah,
buy
Jersey
a...
has crazy permits.
we need a permit to get a frog?
You need a permit to own a ferret.
Yeah.
I know about that.
Yeah,
Oh.
for frogs.
I think I illegally
think
owned a
bearded
frog
dragon.
for a few years.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
then again, I did just pick it up in my backyard and put it in a tank.
Yeah,
Then it died.
That's why I went to Pennsylvania to get my pets. All right.
Yeah, so I see it sort of like that. Other people have issues with it because they're like, you can't copyright an idea, but you can.
Yeah,
It's
you
just
can.
really confusing and it's legal mumbo
Well-
jumbo, and nobody wants to get into
No.
it.
Yeah.
Because who really wants to sue somebody
like putting
over
a
your
cage
fictional
on art.
cat,
Yeah.
dog, hybrid thing? So
Actually, that kind of threw everything out of proportion for me, because I always imagine like the people of like the furry community kind of just being like, yeah, we are this, we want to be creative and do this and that. You can't tell us what to do.
But they get a bad rep because of the other extreme.
Yeah, but
Where
apparently in the
there's
furry
porn
community now,
Beyond-
oh God, yeah.
Beyond.
in the furry
measure.
community now that I'm hearing is that they have their own subclasses and categories with rules. Do they ever like attack each
Really?
other?
Yes.
They got like gangs of furries.
I wouldn't say gangs, but sometimes people end up thinking, hey, this idea is too basic to be a species, or hey,
like this is a cat,
this
but
is
it's got a stripe on its head.
Well, there's
I
no
drew this
way.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like that's just an art thing.
There is one community I was a part of, and it's split into two, and it's two different species, but they both look exactly the same, and unless you specify which one is which, they you wouldn't know. They have nothing to do with each other. These people are apparently friends with each other, and then they got into an argument about the species. They split it off. They come to this agreement, and it's just really weird because it's like they look exactly the same, and yet people like are okay with that. They're both as ridiculously expensive as all heck, but
Like, give me a number, because you're saying expensive, but I'm thinking in my brain like, oh, $15.
oh God, no.
Because I'm poor.
No
I
way.
am going to tell you that I got one from one of these species. I had to pay it off over several rounds and stuff. I think it's very stupid that I paid this much, even though I love the
How much did you pay?
I paid over $600
What
for
the
a character.
fuck?
Yeah, I know. It came with extra
Yeah.
art though, so it kind of justified
Wait,
it.
they gave you
It's
art?
an expensive hobby.
I
It
thought,
is an
okay.
expensive hobby.
For a second, I
Very.
thought you were paying $600 just so you could draw in a certain way.
Nope, this was this person, this was the Christmas event, and they had like an advent calendar, and I got signed up for one of them. I was lucky enough to get one of the slots with a specific theme, and this was a winter mushroom theme, and I love mushroom-based characters.
Okay.
So they had a suggested traits list, which some of them are rarer to get and more expensive.
So they drew you a furry.
Yep.
Okay.
It was basically like a commission, but it's for this specific species.
So a mushroom person classifies as a furry?
No, it's not a person. It's more like this little like. I'm just I'm gonna say the species because I don't think they're called nebular nomads, and they look like
awesome.
little raptors. They're little space raptors, and they're really cute.
Is that like a feral furry?
Whoa!
They're intelligent.
Okay.
They can speak. They're on this planet and stuff, and
What's the name of the planet?
I don't honestly remember. I didn't really look into the lore that much. I just know that these guys were really, really cute, and I liked what this person did with the species versus the other person who owns the species called Jolly Raptors.
Jolly Raptors.
And they are pretty much the same thing. And
like with the mushrooms and all?
Nope. I mean, somebody can make one with a mushroom on it, and it doesn't matter. It's just a trait. It's just that the one themed one I got was a mushroom, so.
Cool. All right, so I believe I'm learning a whole lot about this.
Yeah.
All right, so it's not all about fursonas like, hey, look what I drew. It's kind of like, hey, if you want to be part of this one thing, here it is. This is now your kind of like alias.
Also, for reference, this is the species, and this is the difference between them.
It's
Just one is a little bit bigger than the other.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Do you think you could send that
They're
to me
the
over
same
Instagram
thing,
so
and
I could send it to Chet?
the feet are a little bigger as well.
Yeah, I like nebular nomads a lot better, but hey, if the Jolly mods hear this, don't hate me.
Okay.
So
It's okay. Only like.
Has there ever been a point or has it ever happened where someone is trying to dress up as one of those, but they just design their costume weird and it accidentally looks more like the other one, and they say I'm this one, but I look like this other type?
There has never been a fursuit made of a Jolly Raptor or a Nebnom, as far as I know.
Okay.
So that's pretty much all I know on them, and I just think it's weird that they're like so close, but it happens. I see why it happened. It's just that people will go around and attack other species for being too close to something. And, I mean, for God's sake, there's a few species. There's one, it's called a fox fan. It's just a fox with a fan butt.
Fan butt?
Like,
Is
yeah,
that
like
a propeller?
Like the Japanese.
Oh, like a
opening.
Japanese.
Okay.
I,
Like they're really
I like
cute.
that.
They're
I'm
really
gonna design
cute,
my
but
own, and it's gonna have the actual fan on his butt,
I
like
was thinking
tails.
that.
Actually, speaking of that, we're a little bit more above the halfway mark, and something I wanted to do was make our own personas with our friend Kit here, directing us on how to do it. So, Chet, can you pass us some paper? And
Okay.
we're gonna make some personas. It's gonna be great.
How?
Paper, pencil.
Is there any other general questions you want to ask before?
Snap. I think I'll ask it as I go.
Take
All
it.
right,
I'm gonna be a red panda because I love red pandas.
that's the spirit.
I think
That's right.
I want to create my own creature. Is there any harm in doing that?
Here.
Nope, there is
You
no
want
harm
a
in
mechanical
doing that.
pencil?
Okay, I'll take the mechanical pencil. Yeah. All right.
All right.
So our viewers, this is probably gonna get very boring, but just know I am excited to actually make my own persona. It's gonna be great.
Awesome.
Yeah. So usually when creating a persona, what do you usually start with?
I'm going to be perfectly honest, I created my persona by pure accident.
Okay.
Accident?
So I used to make these little models that I would sell online.
All right.
And they were like little bobbleheads, and I would paint them and sculpt onto them, and it was cute. And then I made one that I'm like, I just discovered the legend of the kitsune, and I like kitsune, so I'm gonna sculpt a kitsune. And then I was like, I like space, So I'm gonna make her all spacey looking and
So
stuff.
it was a very cosmic kind of style.
Very cosmic. I gave her purple hair because I always wanted to have purple hair, gray eyes because I have gray eyes, and constellations on her tail because I thought it looked cool. Gave her the placeholder name of Kitsu.
Is this also why you wear like some very cool sweatshirts?
Her style is my style is very much inspired by my Sona.
Do you say you inspire your persona, or your persona inspires you?
I mean, I wasn't really into space stuff before, but definitely after creating her, I definitely really.
I just made my persona look worried by accident. Well, I'm gonna roll with that.
So I think I want to make mine without leg. Or better yet, I'm thinking now, because I think I'm making a dragon now. There's dragon personas, yeah?
Oh, what
far
the
too many.
scalies?
Scalies.
What are
Scalies.
those?
It's basically just another name for furries who don't want to call themselves furries, but they have dragon characters or something like that.
Ah.
All right.
Some people
I
even
see.
have dinosaur personas. There's a lot of variety out there.
Kind of like drawing him now, and I'm like, I wish I drew a Triceratops.
Like I have a friend that has a Parasphalalophus, the big hornbill crest.
Oh, that one, yeah.
boy.
I think I know what that is.
Yep.
All right.
So right now, what I'm just doing is I'm just making a red panda, but it's standing up.
That's really cute.
Yeah, Chet's more of an artist than I am.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. You're
You're
just as much as an
flawless.
artist as I am. I've just been doing it longer.
You do it better than I do.
That doesn't make you any less of an artist.
Yeah, I mean, I just wish I was better at it.
Practice.
Yeah, practice. See?
Yeah.
Okay.
Every artist would tell you that.
That's not an eraser.
Speaking of artsy, that's
Oh,
not. You gotta take it off. Or you can use that.
Oh, I have to take it off?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's
I'm
better-
looking
it's
over at
better to just
yours.
use
Yours
that.
is way better than mine.
He looks so cheery.
Yeah.
And also slightly worried because I made his eyebrows aiming up.
At first, I thought you were drawing sands. I'm like, that wasn't the assignment.
So
Go
this is my
back.
first Sona, except it doesn't have fur or skin or bones. He has bones. He has no
bones.
muscles or organs.
I mean, there is a
And
sub.
his neck. It's Tim.
Oh.
Don't invite him in.
We're not.
Don't go away.
No.
Shoot, go. We're busy.
Go, Tim.
We don't have that much time left. We must make the thing.
So
All right.
there is a sub species. I wouldn't even call it a species, but there are what I call bonehead furries, where
Bonehead fur. Oh, so
where
they're just like
it's
furries
like the
but
face.
bones.
It's the face. They literally. It's just a furry, but the face is like a skeleton.
I would call
skeletal.
those dry furries for sure, like dry bones.
I mean, they make fursuits of them, and they're really cool.
Like the skeletal ones?
Yeah,
That sounds really cool.
they're made
Chet.
of resin. And
Editor Chet, find one and post one now.
Yes, I did it. See, there it is.
That's amazing.
Wow,
You're so cool.
so cool.
So cool.
Thanks, me.
Wow. Is that what that podcast is going to be?
Yep. So,
I don't know the full extent of your editing powers yet.
I've
I
got
can always
some
edit
editing
something, too.
powers.
All right.
So, while we're drawing,
Yeah.
tell me about your artistic journey.
oh dear.
Yeah, I know it goes from like birth or whatever, but when did you start being like, this is what I want to do? I like this thing.
I've always loved art, but I really think I started to like realize what I wanted to do with it. I want to be an animator, by the way.
Oh, cool.
I did too, and now I'm a communications major.
I'm sorry.
Moment of silence for our fallen soldier.
I was originally music. It's all right. It's you right now.
Go on.
Go on.
I was thinking about gaming for a while because my cousin is a game developer and has put out his own games. And I was thinking about working with him, but I realized that's not really what I want to do. I don't really want to sit and code all
Well,
day.
as an animator, that can work as well.
Yeah,
You can work on games.
yeah. I mean, I'm going to talk to him.
Do you like 2D or 3D animating more?
I like 2D. I like the
So
drawn
do I.
effect. The
Yeah.
drawn style over
I-
the 3D.
It works a lot better too. The 3D, it's not easier. In fact, it's actually really hard, but it doesn't feel, at least for me, it doesn't feel as satisfying because you mainly just do the keyframes like, okay, here's the pose here, here's the pose there, and then the computer just does everything in between.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
I mean,
I'm
that's
gonna
what
make this swoop.
tweening is.
Yeah, tweening. I'm not a big fan of tweening.
It looks nice if you do it correctly.
If it's done right, yeah, it does look really
little
nice.
subtle things.
But other times it's just like, okay, I'm gonna move this head and reverse it.
Or it's like the stereotypical animation meme community that does the head bob for everything.
Yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah,
It's
that's right. I know what that is.
I think I made his hand. Do you think I made his hand too small?
No, I'll just call it.
It looks pretty.
Artistic preference.
His
Yeah.
thighs are giant, though.
He's a dragon.
But throughout the last.
His thighs could be as big as you please.
Okay. I kind of wanted to make him a chameleon, but then I slowly made him into something interesting.
Looks like a T-Rex, somewhat.
Spikes.
It's a T-Rex with spikes.
I look at his teeth and it looks like he's going to tell me to brush my teeth and floss.
Oh, he's so unlike me. I was drawing this ironically.
brush your teeth and floss.
I was drawing this ironically, but I think I'm slowly falling in love with it.
Yes, fall into the trap. No.
Join us.
I mean,
Oh crap! I need hind legs.
people
Whoops.
accuse me, well, not me, but the fandom of like pushing themselves onto people. It's more like we just explain stuff and people just slowly like fall into the pit of despair that we call this fandom. So
It's inevitable. You'll convert eventually.
yeah.
Oh, back to your artistic journey. Sorry, I think we derailed from that.
Yeah. We may have to make this longer than 30 minutes.
Yeah, don't worry about it. The last one was
That's fine.
40 minutes.
Yeah, last one was 40. It's
We no longer
typically
have
just
rules.
about
Oh.
like around 30 minutes,
All right.
unless you have to go.
No,
Okay.
I'm free.
All right. So
Yeah, I'm good for
continue.
a while.
Continue with your artistic journey.
So, I don't know. I've always loved animating. I always loved watching cartoons. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's just that I have no patience, which makes it a little bit
Animation does take forever.
Well, I guess if we're making it a little bit longer, it's just going to be the weird episode. I don't really know how
The
to
weird
hard. It
explain.
looks like a raccoon.
Oh, I don't mean it like weird, like, oh, furries.
You know, that's the crazy thing about red pandas. They're like raccoons, but red and
Bears.
apparently a bear. And adorable. Raccoons are adorable, but these are way more adorable. I love red pandas. Sorry, I just want to express my opinion on red pandas.
I think you're a furry.
No!
Hey, there's nothing
Hey, there's
wrong
nothing
with that.
wrong with being a furry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I made his hand a little bit bigger, and I'm scared now.
All right.
You're doing good, though.
I
Usually you want to
have
choose a color scheme
something.
and pattern that you love. Some people like to make their their personas very complicated. I chose to make mine very
Simplify
easy
it?
because I like to draw her a lot.
That's like
So
number one
you-
rule of animation. Always make
Yeah.
it as simple as possible because you could be drawing it a lot.
Yeah. And even
I-
then I've commissioned people for animations of my characters and they've forgotten things even though she's so simple. But
Do you have a character on you?
yeah. I
I'd
have a rough
I'd like to
sheet.
give it a look.
And do you mind if we post it on the podcast as
Yeah,
well?
of course.
Awesome.
Here's my rough sheet.
What's your name, Kitsu?
Kitsu. It's a
That's really
placeholder
cool.
name that
Oh,
stuck.
it has a
Whoa.
constellation bit on it, too.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Is it like
designed
always
that?
star eyes, or is that
nope,
when it's happy?
that's like surprise, like happy. That's actually the Steven Universe. I took that pose from Steven Universe
Hey.
and asked the artist to put that expression on there because she just, I don't know, I just always loved the starry eyes in there. She's supposed to have eye shines in her thing, but the artist didn't put it in there. That's okay though. Yeah, she's teal and purple, which are my favorite colors.
She's much more tiny on the bottom right corner. Oh, wait, that's just the head. Never
Yeah.
mind. I thought those were the legs and those are the arms.
She was originally like a regular kitsune, but I love fennec foxes and I love drawing stuff with big ears, so I made her part fennec.
All the more reason why I love red pandas.
Yes.
They got massive ears. Okay, here's... I think I'm done. I'm not sure.
Think you're done?
I think.
Think.
I mean, at this point, I'm just putting in more detail, but I guess I'm done.
All right.
There we go. This is me, I think, sort of. Yes.
You can always add more obscure patterns on there if you would like. Colors.
Obscure patterns?
All right, I think
yeah,
I'm done.
like why not make like a polka dotted one?
Oh.
Just
Whoa.
because why not?
Oh, you just blew my mind for a second.
There's no
Even
rules
better,
to
yeah.
making a fursona.
Does
You
it
could
really
add
have to be a
wings.
red panda?
Yes,
can
it
make
does.
You can make like a dragon red panda or
I
like.
can't draw wings, not anymore.
What are you talking? Look at that.
Those are spikes.
Yeah, they
Yo.
look like spikes.
You don't need no
I
wings.
like the little spiral eye. It looks cool.
I want him to be part chameleon. His mom was a chameleon. His dad was Camaro.
A Camaro
Yeah.
was a car.
Can that be allowed? Is that
Yeah,
awesome?
I know somebody that has a fursona that's part, I think hyena and part Jeep. So.
Okay.
Whoa.
uh,
You can merge cars with the
yeah,
fursona?
why not?
Editor
There's,
chat.
like,
Editor
cyborg
chat. Right.
ones.
This is my persona, Leon. He's really
Leon.
cool. He's 19.
Never learned how to fucking read.
Never learned how to read. All right. Kit. 1 out of 10. How would you rate my persona, Leon?
I'd give him
He
a
loves
solid
the cold.
7. He looks really cool.
Solid 7.
I like
Yeah.
him. Would you
think-
dress up as him?
I would.
Would you go on a parade and dress up as Leon?
I would. Do you think he would
What
survive?
colors would he be?
I want him to be like orange, like he's straight up orange, but his spikes are green.
That would look really
Same
cool.
with his horn and his eyes. I want it to be like some weird purple and yellow kind of. Give it
So like
some.
that whole neon scheme going on somewhat.
Maybe, yeah.
Alright.
All right, and
Yeah.
do you think he would survive in the furry community?
Yeah, I think people would like him. There's a shortage of, well, not a shortage. Not many people go with reptilian
Reptilian?
personas. Most people, myself, I'm guilty of this, fluctuate towards the canid and fox and
Like wolves and lions.
and
Yeah.
cats and like the stereotypical things.
Yeah, I was thinking
like,
about that and I was like, no, there's too much of that. I want something unique.
You can always like do a hybrid of something too.
You're right, a furry lizard.
You could.
A furry? Whoa.
You could. There's no rules against it.
I'll think about it for next time. All right.
Alright.
Chet, what do you have?
Here's mine. I think I just drew a red panda.
He's cute.
What's his name?
His name is Redford. Redford.
Redford.
That's him.
That's a unique name.
Redford, the small red panda.
Yeah.
He was originally too big, but then after some heartbreak, he's now too small.
After some heartbreak. Yeah, his heart shrunk, and so did his body.
Is he
Now
best-
here he is.
Would he hang out with Leon?
Leon would eat him, so.
Leon's
No.
vegetarian.
Oh, well then. Leon's his best friend.
Okay.
It's always important to make a backstory.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or I mean, you don't have to. It's just if you want to use
Well,
your
I'll make a
soda in other
backstory.
things, it's good to have a backstory. Sometimes it's just you.
I think before I even send this to editor Chet, I'm going to attempt to color it.
All right.
I think there's nothing in this that resembles me other than I'm waving.
It has your art style, though. I could see your art
But
style.
that's because I drew it. Of course it has my
Oh,
art
sure.
style.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, do I look like a big fluffy blue kitsune?
But you said that you incorporated like your colorful jackets or something
No,
in it,
actually,
right?
that's because of her. I got more
Oh.
into galaxy patterns and started taking more of an interest in astronomy and stuff because I liked the galaxy pattern so much, and I decided to look more into it. So
Okay. And now, can you
All
read
right.
Chet's thing real quick? 1 out of 10.
Oh,
I'm gonna give him an 8.
sweet.
Better
I
than
don't
Leon.
think
Because
wait, what colors are?
obviously he's red.
He's red.
Oh, red and
I'm
white.
gonna be honest. That's going to drown out very quickly.
Yeah.
That's very common. One of my good friends has a red panda OC named Riot.
Oh, you're not
So-
original.
No.
That's my biggest problem with this. It doesn't look very unique. It just looks like a red panda
I mean,
waving.
there's nothing wrong with having a
That's true.
normal colored character. You just have to be
It's how you feel
Like
the character, right?
careful because some people, which I've had this happen before, are gonna go, wait, that's my character, even though it looks like everybody else's
yeah,
red
back
pandas.
to that creature problem, the ones that look exactly the same.
And then there's also the problem where people will point fingers and say, well, this character shares traits with this character, therefore you copied.
Oh,
So-
snap.
You'll find a few people like that. You'll also
Copyright,
experience
fun.
people stealing your own characters, which I've had happen to me before.
Oh.
Yeah, anyone listening to the podcast, if you want Leon, have at him. I love him, but I feel like other people can love him more.
How awesome would that be?
If for some reason Leon gets
Leon just
popular,
becomes super
Should be your
popular.
mascot.
for Josh versus.
Yeah, why
It's
not?
only the 3rd episode. I doubt he's gonna be that popular.
You never know.
Never know.
I mean, I could draw something.
No.
The power is mine.
I think for now he's gonna be an episode 3 character. But if for some reason I need to call back to Leon, sure, he's my boy.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Does Redford have a backstory?
Redford has a very tragic backstory.
Oh snap!
So
Oh no.
Is it exactly what I said? Heartbreak.
you could say that. So here's the backstory of this cute little boy named Redford. Here's the reason why he has slightly worried eyes as well. They're stuck there forever.
Oh snap!
One day he got his heart broken because he was
By
in the
Leon.
forest and then he saw a frog and he was like, "Whoa, this is a cool frog."
It's a
He
hot
went to go
frog.
pick it up and the frog jumped away from him
Oh,
and
no.
drowned.
Oh.
He was surprised because it was a frog. He was like, "What?
Oh,
How did this
whoa.
frog drown?"
No.
Ooh.
No.
Okay.
And then he was like, "Oh no!" And then he was so worried, his eyes got stuck. His eyebrows got
I
stuck.
thought you were gonna say he has generalized anxiety disorder.
His generalized. No, his eyebrows are just stuck on his upper forehead.
Alright.
So now he's always looking worried. He could be super sad, and people are like, "Oh, he looks so upset." He can be super happy. You're like, "Why are you, like,
Why are you
seem,
smiling?
Are
you seem like you're gonna kill somebody?"
All right. Chet, I have a question for you now.
Ask away.
Do you think after this entire bit, you would consider yourself to be part of the furry community now? Or you don't even have to be part of the community. Would you consider yourself a furry now?
No, I don't think I would because I haven't dressed up as well. I guess I have. That's right. I did mention that earlier. I have dressed up in one of those like football mascot things before. They were very
Less
hot.
than 17% of all furries own a fursuit.
I don't own one.
You don't need to own one.
Oh no.
You don't even have to have a fursona.
Have you converted us and we didn't even know it?
All right.
All part of the plan.
Would I consider,
Oh no.
would I consider myself a furry now? I have more respect for them, where it's like, okay, I know now I know what they are. However, after hearing all that discord amongst like the communities that I'm hearing, I'm not sure because I originally thought them to be like this whole, oh no, why must you hunt us down? We're friendly. We want nothing but
That's
peace.
only
Yeah.
if you go on DeviantArt.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Oh yeah.
Is that a community?
I've been down that rabbit hole as a
Really?
dare, and it wasn't fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd consider
I
myself.
say
a furry.
I've always
That's
had
alright.
I'm
a.
sorry.
I've
No,
always had
I
a
wasn't
mutual.
trying, so.
I've always had a mutual respect with the furry community because I at least sort of understand it because there's so many people out there that see any sort of animal that stands up and then they say, "Yeah, it's a furry, gross," ew," because it's for some reason such a widely accepted thing that furry equals sex thing. So it's
That's a small part of the community, but it's not a representative
exactly,
of the
and because
whole.
it's such a small part, but it's so, for some reason, it's so well known. Everyone, whenever they see, for example, Zootopia.
Mhm.
A lot of people got upset from that movie because like, why is Disney making furries? Like, well, they've been making furries for a long
Since
time.
like the dawn of time.
Not Disney Mouse. Mickey Mouse is a
Disney
furry.
Mouse.
All right. Now I hate to cut this conversation short because I am learning a lot from it. We are near the 40-minute mark,
That's right.
which is 10 minutes above, my 30-minute mark
Yeah.
as usual.
This is gonna become a 40-minute podcast.
I'd like to say thank you, Kit, for coming here and teaching us all about the furry community.
Sure,
As I said,
thank you.
eye-opener. I didn't know that's what it's like. It's actually really cool. And the next time I have one of my friends go like, that's freaking gay, I'm going to say a little bit, but not quite.
Yeah. There's some
You
validity
sit
in
them
that
down and
statement.
you're like, let me talk to you
Here,
about
listen
this.
to my podcast. All right. For those listening, thank you for listening. It means a lot to me. I don't make money from this. This is something I do for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And if for some reason in the future I do make money from this, put this in a compilation of the times I said something that contradicted myself. All right.
Mhm.
Again, thank you, and see you in the next episode.